He's like, "You've never thought about going to the Olympics?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, of course, that's the dream." And he's like, "Exactly, it's the dream, put it down there." And so then I wrote down, "Oh, represent Australia at the Commonwealth Games, represent Australia at the Olympics," thinking this is a bit embarrassing, it's so far out there. It was a race.
We had a feeling that she'd be a good marathon runner. We sort of tested her over that distance a little bit early to see if she could make the London Olympics. And fortunately, that all happened and worked well.
That's really satisfying now, looking back over that goal, because I can just remember how crazy it seemed when I wrote it down at the time.
I think Jess is very much in her early stages of her running career. Although she's been to an Olympics, I think we're very much on a progression that's hopefully going to take her to a much greater height.
It's been quite a rapid rise to achieving some of those goals. Just that feeling of exploring your potential, I guess, is very satisfying. Because we run the whole way back, couldn't we? Or we could get in their car. I can't imagine life without running now. I love the feeling of feeling fit and healthy. I also love the outlet, so if I'm feeling stressed at work or whatever, going out and running, I actually feel I can pull my thoughts together and come up with solutions to problems and come back from a run just feeling rejuvenated. I think a marathon is very physical but hugely mental as well. It's to actually motivate yourself every day to get out there and then for your body to be able to endure the training. So just to get to the start line is probably a big part of the battle.
She's a very driven woman. You have to be. You have to be that slightly manic type of personality, I think, to be successful in the marathon. She comes from a wonderful family. Her brother Jack is the captain of the Melbourne Football Club, one of the youngest captains in the history of the game.
Marathon really is perfect for what sort of person that she is. It takes a very driven person to be able to do what she does, and she's exactly that.
Even when she was little, she would say the Olympics was her goal. And we used to go, "Oh, that's nice," and, good luck with that. But she always had it in there. So we were almost not shocked when it happened. We thought, well, I guess that's what she always said she'd do.
And you think, well, what am I putting myself through? And you'll have those little moments in a race, but then something will pull you back into focus. And at the end of the day and when you've crossed the line, it's all worth it.
There I was thinking I'd first started to get her goal setting, and I was mistaken, because they'd been doing it for a long time. And I guess that's what shows why they've achieved what they have in their family.
Dad had like a book, and he used to get us to all say our goals for the year for study, sport, other hobbies, social, family. We'd probably have about 3 goals under each heading, and he'd go around, and at New Year's the following year, we'd go and sort of tick off whether we'd achieved it.
She ended up leading a lot of the New Year's resolutions and writing them down and making sure that we were following them and reaching our goals, or at least showing potential to reach them.
I find it really satisfying to look back over your goals and see that you've achieved it. I love running, but I also love the challenge and the feeling of bettering yourself. So the excitement of getting a personal best for me makes it really worth it. This new and enthusiastic guy, Adam, started coaching. He'd never coached before. Sort of had a new, fresh approach and started up a running group, and it's all taken off from there.
I think with a marathon, it's a challenge for anyone, whether they're trying to run it fast or just to complete it. So that was the first task, was how is she going to go with this challenge? Is she going to manage the distance? And certainly in training, we had good signs to suggest she would. but then to run it fast is another story.
She only had really the one chance to qualify, and that was March last year. So she went off to Japan to Nagoya, and the coach chose that race because it was a flat race, and you could probably do a reasonably fast time.
The belief that she had to have in herself and stay calm in that race to qualify was, something that I hadn't seen from many athletes, and to see someone in their very first marathon handle it as well as she did was just a real credit to her.
Bring it on.
So to see her come in and a qualifying time for the Olympics, it was just mind-boggling.
To be able to do it at the age of 24, she was almost 25 in the first marathon, it was rather early for someone to really attempt that.
It was only a few days actually before flying out for London, so I was packing and getting pretty nervous, and Eddie called and we spoke for about 40 minutes.
And I rang her before the marathon just to get some more training notes of what she'd been up to in the build-up. I could tell that in amongst all the hard work that there was an element of fear, the trepidation of failing on the big stage. And I made the point to her that everybody goes into big events feeling sick sometimes with worry, even the most confident of people, that there are times where you're not quite sure whether you can go on, you're not quite sure whether you have got the ability, but you have to back yourself in and trust that you've done the work. If you've done the work, then it's an opportunity to shine, not to fail.
And hearing those words did really fire me up before flying out to London. I guess there were nerves, but I probably would be more nervous for Adelaide's City Bay Fun Run, where there's more pressure and expectation. I felt like in this race I was just going out there to have a crack and give it my best shot.
The most amazing moment was she looked up at us and just blew us a kiss, and the race started. So then we just sat there for the next 2.5 hours waiting for her to come around each time. So it was pretty amazing. We were so proud of her.
There are plenty of difficult times throughout the race. There always will be in a marathon.
Go Jess! Go Jess!
But fortunately, the closer you get to the finish in a marathon, the more the adrenaline kicks in and some of those pains do ease off a bit, and you end up just being in this sort of dreamland as you're coming down the final straight to that, to the final clock.
No medals, no top 10 finish or anything like that, but she was able to walk away and know that she'd done her absolute best on the day.
No limitations for what she can achieve purely because of the person that she is. Nothing will get in her way, nothing will limit her from achieving what she wants to.
My goals, 26th of the 7th, 2010. Long-term Olympic Games marathon, London 2012.
I think we're very much on a progression that's hopefully going to take her to much greater heights.
Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you've imagined.
If ever there was somebody that you'd put a star next to their name going forward from the Olympic Games in Australian athletics, it was Jess Trengove.
And London, I guess, has made me raise the bar. I always dreamed of qualifying for Rio, and now I want to finish in the top 10 if I can. I want to really, better my performance from London and finish in a high position. So I've got that benchmark now to work on.
This program brought to you by ASICS.